Hey guys, today we will be graphing linear inequalities in two variables. Okay, remember a linear inequality is an inequality that can be written using two variables. So something that looks like this, y is greater than or equal to 3x plus 1. So very similar to the equations we were working with yesterday, last chapter. Okay, all of these look like linear equations, but today we're adding in that word inequality. Okay, so what we're going to start with is just checking solutions of inequalities. So we're going to check whether the given ordered pair is a solution or not. So remember this ordered pair, this is my x and my y. My equation or my inequality says 2x plus 3y is greater than or equal to 5. So we're going to take this x value, plug that in. So I have 2 times 0 plus 3 times 1, plugging in my 1, is greater than or equal to 5. Okay, so you're just telling me whether that is true or not. This one says 3 is greater than or equal to 5, so this one does not work. That is not a solution. Okay, our next one, we're plugging in a 4. So I have 2 times 4 plus 3 times negative 1 is greater than or equal to 5. So this time I have 8 minus 3 greater than or equal to 5. This is 5 and we have that or equal to, so this one does work. That's a yes. Okay, and the last one here, we're plugging in a 2 and a 1. We're saying this time that 4 plus 3 is greater than or equal to 5. That gets me 7, so that is also a yes. So you are just starting by saying whether or not an ordered pair is a solution of the inequality. When you get to graphing inequalities, there are two main things that I want you guys to decide. Okay? Number one, we're going to graph the boundary line of the inequality using a dashed or a solid line. Okay, so if I have the equal to symbol, then that gives me a solid line. If not, that is dashed. Okay, then we're going to decide which side of the boundary line to shade. So if you are not sure, you can test a point that's not on the line to determine whether it is a solution or not. So just what we were doing on that last slide. And then shade the appropriate half plane and graph. So we're going to start easy. Okay, here is a HOI line. We've got a horizontal line at a positive 2. This equal to right here tells me that it's going to be a solid line. So I'm going to draw a solid horizontal line at 2. And then it says I want everything that is greater than that line. So I'm going to shade above the line. Now again, if you weren't sure, you could pick a random point up here. Okay, so I picked the point 1, 4, 1, 4. Okay, you could plug that in over here. Okay, that's saying 4 is greater than or equal to 2, which does work, so I know I shaded in the right area. So if you're someone that struggles with shading, think about picking a point and plugging it in, make sure it works. Okay, here's my next one. This one I gave you a Vux line. So I have a vertical line at negative 1. I don't have that or equal to symbol, so this is going to be a dashed line at negative 1. Vertically dashed line at negative 1. And this time it says I want things that are less than that number. So think about things that would be less than negative 1. So I'm going to shade to the left, left and less than. Okay, again, if you're not sure, feel free to pick a point and test that point. So if I plug this in, that's negative 2, which would be less than negative 1. That does work, so I know I shaded in the right direction. Okay, my next one, this one I am going to get into a slope-intercept form. So I'm going to start by solving, subtract my 4x over. I have 2y is greater than or equal to negative 4x plus 8. Divide by 2, so I get y is greater than or equal to and negative 2x plus 4. Think about whether that's going to be dashed or solid. Okay, I'm looking at my symbol and I'm saying that's solid. Then graph it just like that's going to be an equal sign. So I'm going to start by going up to a positive 4, down 2, and over 1. Okay, and we said this one's going to be solid, so I can draw a solid line. And the only thing I have left is where to shade. Okay, now when you get these ones that actually have a slope, this is where I see the most people struggling. So make sure you just pick a random point that's not on the line and plug it in. I suggest you always plug it back into the original. Okay, so my point looks like 4, 0. I'm going to plug that back in. So 4 times 4 plus 2 times 0, is that greater than or equal to 8? That's a yes, so I'm shading in the correct direction. Okay, if you get something that doesn't work, it just means you chose the wrong side of the line, so just shade in the opposite direction. Okay, our next one here, again, I'm going to solve, so I'm subtracting my 3x. And this time I have to divide by a -1. So remember, when you divide by a negative, you flip your inequality sign. Okay, so I'm going to start at a -3. And I'm going up 3 and right 1. Now remember to look and see whether you're going to have a solid or a dashed line. So this one's dashed because I do not have that or equal to. And then I just need to figure out where to shade. Okay, this one says I am greater than the line. Again, I suggest you pick a point. If you already know, you can go ahead and shade it in. But remember, the point is the best way to check that is greater than that line. Okay, last one. You have $200 to spend on CDs and music videos. CDs cost $10 each and music videos cost $20. Write a linear inequality in 2 variables to represent the number of CDs, X, and music DVDs, Y, you can buy. Okay, so my CDs are $10 each, and it says that's 10X, because we're representing CDs with X. And music videos are $20 each, $20 Y, so 20Y. And I have $200 to spend. So at most, I can spend $200. So it can equal $200 or it can be less than $200. At most, that's as much as I can spend. Okay, so there's my linear inequality. Okay, now I'm going to graph the inequality. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to solve this so it makes it easier. Go ahead and subtract your 10x over, divide by that 20. You end up with y is less than or equal to -1/2 x plus 10. Okay, so think about this. Remember, we talked about our axes. You can't have a negative number of CDs or DVDs. So I'm going to draw my axes on the outside. I'm starting at a positive 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, counting up. And I'm going down 1 and to the right 2. Down 1 and to the right 2. Okay, so here's my line. Okay, I only need an arrow in one direction because I'm not going into the negative there. Okay, if yours you counted and you can actually touch the bottom or touch your y-axis, you would not need an arrow over there because that's as far as it goes. Then it says discuss 3 possible solutions for a real life situation. So all that means is discuss what these mean. Okay, pick 3 points. Discuss what they mean. So I'm going to pick this first one here. Okay, this is the point 0, 10. 0, 10 says I'm buying 0 CDs and 10 music videos. That is one real life situation. Okay, the next one, my next point down is 2, 9. 2, 9. So this says I can buy 2 CDs if I buy 9 music videos. Okay, and my next point down is 4/8. So if I buy 4 CDs, that's 8 music videos. Okay, that's all it means by real life situation. I want you to tell me what those points mean. Okay, remember, if you guys have any questions, feel free to email me. Otherwise, I will see you tomorrow. Bye.